Okay, I'm going to show you how I can make a diptych just within Lightroom using the print module. And I'm going to pick the most complicated example right now. I've got my two photos that I want to put into the diptych in two different folders. So I'm going to click one of my folders and control click the second folder. And now just to reduce and make it easier for me to pick, I know that I've flagged both of the photos that I want to use with 4 stars, so I did an attribute filter to filter only photos with 4 or more stars. Here's one photo I want in my diptych. I clicked it, and now I'm going to control click the second folder, or the second photo. So now I have my two photos picked, and I'm going to go to the print module. If the module doesn't show along the top line here, I think that you can find it in window. That's how you can get to your print module if you've turned it off or something like that. Okay, so it looks like the last time I printed something, it was a portrait with only one photo. I want to change this to a landscape and put my two photos side by side. To flip portrait and landscape, you want to go to page setup here on the left side, and portrait landscape is the only thing that you're going to use, unless you're using a printer, of course. But the only thing you're going to use if you are doing what I'm doing, which is selecting the photos, laying them out, and then printing them to a JPEG file. That's what we're going to end up doing here. So you go to Layout, and in Layout you can see that I have only one row and one column of photos picked right now. So that's why we only have one photo here. So I'm going to change this to 2 columns. And now we have the two photos that are selected down in the film strip view side by side, and we can change spacing and stuff by shoving the left edge or the right edge in. That looks pretty good to me. I'm going to cut off the right edge with a crop at the end, so I'm not worried about that. And that's all I would want to do here. I can set cell spacing and particular cell heights, but this did the trick for me, and so that's all I'm going to show you here. Next, you go to page. If you're happy with a white background and white is selected, then you're done. That's the only thing you would need to do here. But let me show you an instance of where I want to pick a color. Maybe a very light yellow would look good as a background for that. I'm not really worried about aesthetics so much here. I'm just trying to demonstrate how to do it. So you go ahead and select your page background color if you want. That's the only thing that I normally do here. And now the important thing here is normally this might be set to print to a printer. You want to change it to print to a JPEG file, and there's really nothing else that I want to do here. Oh, I want to make sure that profile is set to the profile that I normally use inside of Lightroom, which is ProPhoto RGB. It seems like if I just do it as if I print it as sRGB, which is what you typically export with or put on the web with, then I don't get my colors right in the final JPEG. But if I leave it at ProPhoto RGB and do everything in Lightroom, then everything works out right. So now I'm going to click Print to File. It's going to ask me where do I want to print it, and I'm going to print it into my Doorknobs Ice Storm file, and I'm going to call it Diptych. Save that, and now it says preparing print job. Now it's printing. Okay, it takes some time for some reason, but I'm going to go back to my library module, and I'm going to pick my Doorknobs folder, which is where I exported to. Right click on it and say synchronize folder. What that does is imports any new photos that are not yet in Lightroom but are found in the folder. Also offers to delete anything that is in Lightroom that's not in the folder, so you need to be a little bit careful. But this is what I want to do: import new photos that it found, which is 1, and I'll click on synchronize, and it'll give me an import dialog. Yes, that's what I want to import, and now I'll double click it and go to the develop module and do a crop, and right there's the photo that I'm going to submit to the Camera Club. That's my fabulous Doorknobs Diptych. So that's how to do it in Lightroom using the print module, and next I'm going to show you how to do it in Photoshop in the next video. Bye for now.